Hi, I'm Game Guy. We're doing more of the Shroom version thing. Here we go. This time, I'm gonna go into more, essentially. I wanted to go over the comic as it is first, because I feel like that sets up a lot of things, so I don't have to worry about accidentally spoiling future events or whatever the heck. You know, it's probably something of an importance, I think. To start with, let's see. Where is... Because I have to, like, dig through my files real quick and, like, find it real quick and such. Alright. Let's talk about the title page thing real quick. Remember this thing? Forget about it real quick. It's not important. We're going back to the original title page. Oh my gosh! Remember this one? Whoa! It's like on fire and everything. I don't know why I made it so aggressive. Like, why is everybody like fighting to the death for no reason? I just thought it looked cool. I mean, I guess it is, but you know, it's a thing. Also, you can see the old like logo for some reason. I don't know, man. This is just weird. Taz is giving Bowser a headache. That's all that I know about this. Yeah, everything is on fire. It's fine. So I wanted to point that out real quick. What else did I want to point out? Oh, actually, I do have an old logo here. It's like on a banner version, but it's effectively the correct thing here. You know, I spruced this up later. It is pretty good, but you know, it's fine. It's a nice little thing. Yeah, that's the thing, because what I just showed was like the official logo. I don't know why I made the title page in a completely different font. Just for basically no reason. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, who is ready to go to the first comic and talk about the first... Wait a minute! Not that one. Not that one. You see, that is not how the comic began. You see, you might have noticed how... Remember when I said that I remade a bunch of comics at the start? Yeah, the first 15 comics were very different originally. Very different. We don't talk about these, but here I am to talk about them. First 15 comics were a mistake. That's the gist of it. Yes, I misspelled original. I'm the best. This is a comic where I'm just like, yo, here's my author insert. Already breaking rule number 1 of Sprite Comics, having an author insert, that thing I shouldn't do, pretty much. I haven't seen any Pokemon comics with an original plot. This is the first Pokemon that'll have an original plot. This is it, the first one. No other comic is gonna ever have an original plot. Not a single one. I could be completely wrong about this, but you know. Yeah, I'm using paint. Get over it. Paint's actually good. Why did I suggest that paint is bad? I don't know. But here we are. Other inserts are kind of a trope of sorts, where they're like lazy and don't belong, essentially. As you may have noticed, this guy does not appear at all in any of the main comics outside of, like, the chapter previews. So, like, kind of doesn't belong. You know? It's just a thing. Alright, well, here we go. Let's move. Oh my gosh! You think that guy's from Team Aqua, don't you? Well, he just likes the color blue, alright? It's fine. This is the secondary author character based on a friend of mine. He's just there. He doesn't do much. But he's there. You might remember him, but we'll get to that later. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, well, you know, for this comic, we probably need some actors. You know, I doubt people want to read stories about us. You know? I doubt that. Anyway, Team Aqua joke. I don't have a lot to say about some of these, but, like, they're just kind of there. They're bad. It's fine. Alright, well, here we go. Sprite actors needed. This is so boring. As if actors will fall from the sky. Hey, look, it's Mario and Luigi. That was easy. I love that pow. It's so bad. By the way, first of all, I want to point out, you see that, like, tumbleweed thing? I vividly remember I did a Google image search for tumbleweed, and then I scaled it down to make it look like this. Yeah. It's very good looking. By the way, remember this comic for later, because it will actually be important in the future. For some reason. Alright. Here's a fun thing, by the way. We're having, like, a nice little interview. You know, you can absorb powers from stuff. You know, is that all? The heck is a Pokemon? When I say go get actors for a Pokemon Sprite comic, I mean Pokemon trainers, stupid. Dumb idiot. I like how... You know what? Let me find it. I like... Do I actually have that still? I might not. I designed, like, this entire house for the purposes of, like, you know, potentially having things happen in said house. I don't know why. Also, everything is, like, blue over to the left because it's intended to be, like, a battlefield in case a Pokemon battle happened in here, and, like... Why did I put that there? Why? I have so many questions, and I will never get an answer, essentially, because I don't know why I did what I did. I'm just trying to see if I still have the sprites for that. I don't think I do, if I'm honest. Because the funny thing about that is I know I updated this eventually, so it's no longer, like, the same. But I don't remember if I have the old one at all. I don't think I do. I don't know where I would have it if I did. Is it in here? Is this a thing where it's at? Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at various files right now. Fine. I'm feeling like maybe I don't. If I open this, do I have it in here? I might. No, I don't think I do. I want to see this thing. I should have probably looked this up beforehand, but I didn't, man. It's a sad day. I am sad. Well, you know what? We'll probably see more of it later. It's fine. Get out of here. I'm done looking at you. Alright. Back to looking at you. Trust me, this is a different comic. Alright. I know you, aren't you Mario and the Lulu green guy? Oh no, nobody remembers Luigi's name and it's funny. He angered himself to death. Anyway, Remember that joke from every Mario game ever? Oh, do we have to do Comic 7? I don't want to do Comic 7. I don't want to. Anyway, here we are. It's a dumb joke. What the heck is all this? When I say Sprite comic, I don't mean the drink. I don't mean the drink. It's okay, guys. I'm not affiliated with Sprite in any way. This comic is just for fun, all right? Does anyone remember very old commercials for Sprite? Does anyone? Because I don't think anyone's gonna remember that. Who the heck is that guy? It's Luigi in a costume. There was like this gosh, how did it go? There was like this little not action figure, but I guess like doll of a guy who is like aggressively shouting "obey your thirst" at people as far as to obey, like not obey, but like to advertise Sprite. And I just decided to dress Luigi as him, as like the little doll character. I don't know how many people even got this joke at the time, if I'm honest. But trust me, this is in reference to something, I promise. I didn't do Pepsi Man because then it's not Sprite. It's very specifically Sprite. Listen, it was funny in my head, I promise. Anyway, moving on. Oh my gosh, it's Comic 8. 3 hours later. Alright, we needed Sprite comic actors who know what a Pokemon is needed. Alright. Alright, good. Alright, no one... I thought it'd be easier than this. We haven't even seen a single Pokemon yet. Oh my gosh, it's Beedrill. And Weedle. And Kakuna. There they are. We finally got Pokemon in this Pokemon comic. About time. Finally. Alright. Oh my gosh, what's that? It can't be a trainer. Maybe it's a Pokemon. Oh no, my Pokedex says nothing. Also, Ron is here. Hooray for Ron. He's finally here. I don't know why this is a thing that is happening, but it is. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have an interview or whatever. Do you know what a Pokemon is? I mean, yeah. Alright, cool. What's so funny about a soft drink? Wow, funny joke. I've already, like, listen, that was like 3 comics ago. Can we, like, drop it already? Please, I'm begging you. I don't want to talk about it. This comic has 2 versions for some reason. Actually, I just noticed, so like, okay, see there's version 1, and here's version 2. Like, they're very drastically different. They walk around the table in a different fashion. I don't know why I have 2 different versions, but I must have felt, well, cause like, the second version where they walk around the table like that is, I think, the one I went with ultimately. I don't know what about this one I didn't like specifically. Maybe I felt like the text bubbles were like in a weird place or something. I don't know. I don't really truly know, but it's just a fun little thing. Is it fun? I guess it's fun. I don't know. I don't think I already did it because I have them named differently file-wise. Meanwhile, Comic 11, I tried making a cloud. Yeah, our Pokemon are battling. Those aren't any Pokemon I ever heard of. Darn. Well, I think the Chain Chomp's winning, so, you know, that's what's important. You might be noticing a lot of these comics have nothing to do with anything. So, you know, it's great. Anyway, what'd you say your name was again? Ron Wood. Oh my gosh. Remember how I talked about Ron having a last name? It was in reference to this for some reason, because this is the only other time it came up. Frankly, I have no idea why Ron is, like, the only character to have a last name. Like, this is never the case for anyone else. That's not true. Brittany's Sylph. Never mind. Whatever. Point is, it doesn't mean anything. It's just listen, literally, his last name is Wood because of the joke in this comic. That's how you know it's a good decision. Like, come on. That's how you know. It's a great decision. I definitely didn't just name someone for a joke in a single comic. Definitely. Listen, I had plans, you know, the Wood family lineage is a great one, alright? Definitely it will come up again. Definitely. Alright, well, here's a comic. Dang stupid, dumb sprite actors, don't stop doing stuff. You guys see the theme here? I am Sean. It's Sean. There he is. Down with Sean. That's what you didn't say. You got the stinking job. Hey, you know what's funny about this comic is how it's like one of the only times I've done any sort of like topical anything, because I think they had just announced the Nintendo DS. Do you guys get it? It's funny, right? It definitely belongs here in this story-based comic. Definitely. Definitely. Alright, well, here we go. Hey, does this comic have any plot at all? It seems boring at the moment. Alright, well, here's the awesome plot. You just held up that cue card. Listen, the joke is I didn't know what the plot was yet. Obviously. Like, come on. Do you think I know what the plot is? I'm already wasting a bunch of time, you know, doing these first 15 for some reason. Oh my gosh, 6 panels, what? Alright, I've decided to extend the comics to 6 panels instead of 4 for the plot. 4 panels were too hard to work with. See, the joke is, anyway. Alright. That's done. Alright, I want to point out real quick. Where is... I had something somewhere, someplace. Thing. Alright, remember how I had chapter intros for the various things that happen? I did, in fact, at some point, get rid of the first 15 comics because they were dumb and stupid and had absolutely no bearing on anything forever. I did, however, make a cool little chapter 0 thing. There's a big old wall of text here that I frankly don't feel like reading because it more or less explains what I just said, so... I took them down in 2009. They were up there for, like, a while. It took me, like, freaking over 6 months to make those. The heck? What the actual heck? What the actual Luigi? Man. Well, there's a date for you. I kind of knew that that was around the right time, but thank you, Past Me, for putting dates, I guess. So, you know, there's that. Yeah, spray comics are hard, man. It's fine. I like that line in the middle I just happened to notice. Like, plus, I'm the author. I shouldn't be in the comic in the first place. Unless it's some sort of autobiography. Has anybody ever done, like, a Sprite comic-based autobiography? That I want to see. I definitely want to see that. Definitely. I absolutely want to see that. So much do I want to see that. All right. Let's go finally to the real comic. But first, I said I was still remaking comics for a bit, so we're gonna go back to the old versions of the same thing. I don't recall if I made any major edits. I don't think I did. I think it's mostly the same. But, you know, I mentioned previously, I don't like this old Professor Elm sprite. I liked the new one I made for the remixed first 15 and the flashback. I didn't even update this guy for the new thing stuff, you know. This is a Pokemon. Some people... Yeah, this is obviously a reference to, like, the start of Pokemon, the Gen 2 ones. I'm pretty sure he shows a Wooper, so, you know, it's fine. Alright, backstory time! Ron and Sean are based on two specific people. Sean, in particular, is based on a friend of mine at the time, also named Sean. The reason why he looks like Brendan is because I asked him if he wanted to make his character sprite, and this is what he gave me. Now, I'm not gonna say that it's all his fault, because I'm the one that eventually used the sprite instead of doing anything about it, but I'm just putting it out there. You know, that's a thing. Ron is actually based on myself to an extent. So, the thing about this is a long time ago, a few years before this comic, actually. Gosh, what did I explain in the From the Top video? I'm trying to remember. There was a website known as Animal Crossing Community that I was a part of, alright? This is where we had met. Let's see. On that site, we got into, like, this text-based RPG thing, where we were role-playing as, like, Pokemon trainers, and things were happening and whatnot. I was kind of sort of the equivalent of a DM for that, so, like, you know, that was a thing that happened. That's a whole entire other story that I'm not going to get into here today, because that's not overly relevant, except for this one detail where Sean's character started with a Cyndaquil, and my character started with the Ghastly. Hence what we have here today. So, you know, that is the sole reason for this happening. Later on, I was trying to come up with, like, plot reasons for why the Ghastly was here. We'll get to that eventually, but for right now, you know. I did stuff when I was younger. I know, right? It's weird. I kind of sorta touched on some of this in the From the Top videos, but not more specifically, I guess, because, like, I was kind of intending to here in the retrospective, because that's where it's more relevant. But I just wanted to put it out there, you know, that that thing that happened. So, I do want to talk about Ron briefly, being the dumb, stupid character. Yeah, he kind of is. He's just kind of like the very stereotypical, wow, I'm a dumb, stupid idiot. Here goes all the wacky shenanigans. You might have noticed as the comic went on, I kind of leaned back away from that a little bit more, trying to give him more of a, like, he's not very bright, but he's not completely stupid kind of thing. You know, one of those. But, you know, I think the thing is, like, when I was coming up with the character, like, personalities, I'm like, well, It doesn't feel right to make someone else's character the stupid one, because then that means I'm making fun of them. But I can make fun of myself, so, you know, even though I just decided instead of naming the character Andy or whatever, I'm just like, this is gonna be Ron. Ron is, like, wholesale just a name I randomly came up with. It has no bearing on anything. So, you know, in case you were wondering. Yeah, well, you know, making fun of yourself is bad, but, you know. This is what Randy is a reference to? No. No. Well, I mean, okay. Randy is probably, like, that part of his name is probably just, like, it starts with an R. Ron starts with an R. I don't know. That was probably just a random name I came up with. I don't know. Cooper, on the other hand, I mean, his last name is Cooper. He's an assistant to an archaeologist. I don't know, there's a joke there somewhere. That's like freaking 100 comics plus from now. Why are we even talking about that? All right, catching Pokemon is what we're doing today. Here we are in the grass. You want to learn to be Pokemon trainers? Yes, please. I don't know where you got that rock from, man. Do I have what I am looking for here? Oh gosh. I should have prepared for this one. There is a history, actually, to this particular comic, and I don't know where I might... Do I have it here? I feel like... Because I started to edit the retrospective thing I had recorded previously, and I'm wondering if I got a picture of what I'm looking for here. I don't know if I did. Being super vague about this, and I don't really have a reason to, but all I have right now is I'm just kind of looking through files on my computer to see if I have a gosh dang picture of this. Short version is, these comics are based on something. Long time ago, I used to draw like little stick figure comics or whatever. And they had, like, the same character archetypes of, like, there's the straight man and the stupid one, because, you know, it's always a good archetype to go with. And, like, I did some Pokemon-based comics. And they basically were exactly the plot line of this. These, like, 4 comics, like, starting with this one. I don't know if I have, because I could have sworn I had images of this comic somewhere. Fart. I'm gonna keep looking, maybe, but I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna find them. Alright, well, I'm not gonna, like, sit here and look around while I'm trying to do a thing or whatever. But, you know, it's fine, I guess. It's fine. But yeah, this one, you know, I haven't done, like, good backgrounds, you know? That's kind of the obvious problem with this particular thing at present. But it's fine. You caught a Pokemon! Look! He caught Sean! He did it! Wow! I can't believe. Throw a Pokeball at the Pokemon. You can do it, Ron. I believe in you. He did it. Alright, let's go. At least it can't get any worse, is a thing that Sean says at some point. we're just moving on. Because honestly, like, these comics are just kind of there for the most part. We've already gone through them, and I don't have a lot to say about them beyond what I already just said. Go up, Pokemon! Wow, it's a rage attack. Yeah, no, like, the remakes, obviously better. Visually. That's the last of those old versions that I still have, but, you know, it's just a thing. You know. So, you might have remembered how I'm like, man, remember when the quality degrades a bit more? And, well, I mean, now we're moving on, and it doesn't look any different, really, so it's fine. This was, let's see, the plot I had in mind was not quite there yet, let's say. It should be noted, I had originally called this Pokemon Shroom version. Alright, I'm putting that out there. We're at comic number 21 right now. And the Mario Bros have only appeared within the first 15 comics. The comics that had absolutely no bearing on anything. They had nothing to do with anything at all. Just at all. So, you know, just putting that out there. So I obviously didn't really have any idea what I was doing at the time. I was 100% winging it. There's no way I wasn't. I probably had one idea in mind that I will get to later, but we aren't there yet. We're gonna go to Blackthorn City. I don't know. These comics at the beginning, they were just kind of like gag-a-day shenanigan type comics, as far as I can tell. I don't know what was going on with these, you know. It's just a thing. It's whatever. Anyway, this one, I did not have Photoshop yet, for the record. These, like, blur effects, gosh, what was that called? It was like Microsoft Photo Editor or something. It was some weird program I stumbled upon that let me do, like, blurs and such. And things like, lighten and darken and whatever. It wasn't GIMP, let me tell you. It wasn't at all. Because I still was only using Paint at this point, for the most part. Also, by the way, this joke was stolen from an episode of Hey Arnold. Just in case you wanted to know. Like, this is just factually the same joke. Just putting it out there. Did I already say just putting it out there? I'm putting it out there. It's fine. Remember when Mario and Luigi were in the comic? I sure don't. This is just my excuse of, like, we're gonna have a flashback, but I need to shift perspective first, so here's just this useless comic that exists for some reason that, I don't know. Look, I pointed out, it's like, man, it's been freaking, this is comic 23 and they're finally here. It's, you know, it's whatever, finally. We're here! Here we are! Bowser's got a spaceship, and who even cares? I'm still at that point where I'm just struggling to think about what I could even say. I can tell you a lot of the pieces in, like, the background and whatnot are all just from, like, Metroid stuff. It's like Metroid or Sonic, I think. Most of them. I don't remember what's what, if I'm honest. So, that, I guess. Yeah. Shuttle will launch in now is a funny joke. It's very funny. I don't know why Bowser's just hanging out with a single Koopa. I don't know. I have no idea. You'd think he'd be hanging out with, like, Kamek or something at least. Or at least, like, a full platoon of troops or something. Like, I don't know. Hey, remember that one thing I did where I used Microsoft Photo Editor or whatever to change, like, filter or whatever on things? Yeah, there it is. I like how I put little blurs on some parts of the background to imply, like, exhaust or something. And then I just straight up used, like, various rocks that are obviously from Pokemon. They look completely out of place. It's the best. I don't know why I did it. Why are there rocks anyway? Like, freaking... They're in Bowser's Castle, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there could be rocks, but I'd think that they'd be, like, bricks or something. For that matter, I don't know what up with all the metal in the background. Like, if Bowser's making a spaceship, why would he have to, like, make a bunch of metal walls in his castle? What's that supposed to be? I don't know. Probably shouldn't be launching a rocket within a castle anyway, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm not a scientist. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on at all. Man, I like how I cut out a door out of that wall. That was pretty good, that thing I did there, you know? I wasn't joking when I said these are just straight up made up words Luigi's saying. Dude's just like literally making up nonsense in order to get a map, which is literally just a bunch of squiggles that I put on the computer screen. They don't mean anything. Why would they mean anything? That'd be stupid. I mean, we're only gonna be on this space shuttle for a while. I guess. I mean, to be fair, you know, the funny thing about this space shuttle is if I had the chance to go back and, like, redo this, it probably would have just been, like, the basic Bowser airship. I don't know why it would be anything else. For some reason, I just felt like that wouldn't be, like, good enough, you know? Well, it's not that I didn't have a dictionary, I just thought it'd be funnier if I made up, like, fake science words, you know what I mean? It's just what I felt like doing, I guess. Alright, here we are. One and only time I used this Claire Sprite, by the way. She's just there. I have, like, an entire sprite sheet for her, by the way. It's right here. I don't know why. It's not like she was ever going to appear outside of this one comic, but... there she is. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I tried to edit one of the Gen 3 sprites to look as close to Claire as I could. I mean, I guess I did okay. But it's clearly just an edit of a real basic sprite, you know, it's whatever. I mentioned the first time I went through this comic, I don't know why I cut off Ghastly's, like, gas trail. It's weird. It looks weird. I don't like it. It's awkward. I kind of get what I was going for, because, like, it's not actually moving, so, like, you know, well, because that's the other thing. I wasn't using, like, the Mystery Dungeon sprites yet. Like, these are just the sprites from, like, the, like, when you're looking at your party menu, you know. When did Mystery Dungeon come out, actually? Like, the first one. That's a good question to consider. Was it 2004? Because, I mean, I feel like every single Pokemon comic in existence was using the heck out of those. 2006, huh? I mean, people would have had, like, Japanese ROMs, I'm sure. Like, I'm 100% sure that they would have such a thing. It just occurred to me, I just looked at I just found a file that might be relevant to my interests. But it's not, so never mind. Alright, well, it's fine. Get out of here. I'm tired of looking at Claire's gym. It's not even well designed, if I'm honest. But you know what? It's alright. It's okay. Alright, Ron's got to run to the Pokemart, get a revive, and get scammed by himself. That's what this comic is. Moving on. Okay, here we go. Villains in the Dark. So, here is a bunch of things I can say about this comic. First and foremost, guy on the left, can you tell who that is? is my question to you. In the meantime, the prototype being a box. Okay, so first of all, yeah, that's obviously supposed to be the Pokebox or whatever the heck, right? So, like, you know, cool foreshadowing or whatever. I am 100% certain I did not know that that's where I was going with this comic, and that's literally just a box. And it had no context to me at the time. I am 100% certain that is the case. So, in case you wanted to know that, I guess. Okay, so as far as guy on the left, if you are familiar with various sprite silhouettes that you might have seen over time, you might be able to recognize that as Kamek from Yoshi's Island. So I'm just gonna put that out there. That is just the Kamek sprite from Yoshi's Island. However, I'm gonna put this out there. Spoiler alert, that was never intended to be Kamek. So, it's a different Magikoopa that exists. More on him later, because he is not really relevant at all for a long time. However, he is... I don't know, this is the part probably where I had some kind of plan of where I was going with the plot. I don't know. Point is, I don't know. I feel like I did this bad because if you are familiar enough with the sprites, it's very easy to tell who that could be. So at the very least, you would know it is Mario-based character rather than, you know, Team Rocket-based character. Assuming you can even tell that these are Team Rocket sprites, like if you look carefully, you can tell that for the Team Rocket guys, I just put a filter over them so you can still kind of sort of tell that they are the Team Rocket guys. So, you know, this is just a dumb, funny joke. You're not allowed to run with scissors. I like how, you know, a blowtorch is just a real basic and small rectangle, and the chainsaw is like an oval, a very flat oval. You know, basic shapes. Those are things I can do in paint. Don't worry about it. I don't know why he would need a chainsaw to fix something. Don't ask me. Alright, here we are, back on the ship. Luigi makes a "don't knock on wood" reference. I'm fairly certain this is supposed to be a reference to that one time he smacked Ron in the back of the head. It was so funny, I had to reference it again. It's so funny. Yeah, some other planet in the galaxy. The name was missing. Yeah, that line of text over there. You know. Obviously, I named the planets later, but I guess I'll talk about that when that's more relevant, but, you know, it's fine. Because I don't think I had that idea until later. Otherwise, I probably would have put it here. Maybe. I don't know. Bowser's here. Hey, guys, it's Bowser. Look, it's Bowser. He's here. Isn't that great? Everybody's just completely in the dark about everything. I will say, actually, I'm trying to remember, because remember the plot point later where Bowser's like, I didn't kidnap Peach yet. So, like, he obviously hasn't kidnapped Peach yet. She's not even here. But, like, did I know this at the time? I'm wondering if I knew this at the time. I'm wondering if this is a thing I had, like, established in my brain. It was like the plan. I'm wondering now. I don't actually know. Because they don't outright say that they have Peach, so, like, you know. Because I feel like I'm implying something with that first panel. Where they're like, we got Peach? I don't know about that. I don't know. No, in the last comic, those weren't scissors. That was the chainsaw. Well, the previous... I know what... You know what I mean. It's fine. Alright, let's see. Comic, this one. I like how I just randomly... Like, okay, this is just a lol random comic where everybody does an extreme close-up gasp, and then there's just, like, another character who's not even present also gasping. Do you get it? It's funny. That's... I don't know why I did this. I have bad ideas. Especially because after I removed, like, the first 15 comics, like, my self-insert helper friend character, like, has no relevance to anything. He just kind of doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. Yeah, the Super Metroid missile thing is great. It's fun. Anyway, everybody's coming back, you know. Okay, so at this point, it's pretty clear I am following the basic plot of Gen 2's intro, where, you know, Elm gets robbed and all that, so, like, I'm starting to feel like I had an idea of how the plot was going, sort of. Fun fact, that is the same little Pokédex sprite thing that I made from the first 15 comics. You remember seeing that? The thing that I definitely pointed out? I definitely pointed it out. Definitely. But, you know, I decided to reuse it here. I don't think it looks very good, but you know what? There it is. It's around. Unfortunate. I like how it's the old style Pokédex. Like the red little flip book looking thing, you know what I mean? Ah, okay, here we are. This is the part where I started to try a little harder and I actually put like colored borders around the text. I feel like that's kind of the entire point of this comic. Is like, let's have some filler as we transition to the next area, but also I want to show off my cool new techniques. Yeah, so I don't know if you've noticed over time, but I've done like, you know, colored borders around every single text bubble that was consistent from character to character. So Sean is like a darker red and Ron is like a darker purple. All right. Keep these in mind. They might be important later. They probably won't be, but you know, it's fine. I don't know if I ever really screwed up any of the text bubble colors. I feel like I must have at one point. I don't remember if, I wonder how I did that. Because I feel like I probably just did it like an eyedropper on a color that is on the character sprite. At least like the most prominent color, you know? So like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyway, Taz. Fun fact, this was the introduction of Taz originally because, you know, first 15 comics didn't have her originally, so that's fine. Taz is a character that exists because I'm like, maybe I should have girl. That's it. That's the reason. That's the only reason Taz exists in the comic. It's a good reason. Obviously, you know, we gotta introduce characters for arbitrary reasons so that, you know, they can continue to arbitrarily exist. Definitely, probably shouldn't, like, I don't know, just add characters for the sake of adding characters. I would never do that. Never. 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 Gosh, actually, thinking about that real quick, do I have... No, I have a newer version of it, but I don't know, because I made large portions of maps because I didn't know how much of it I would theoretically use. I'm wondering how much of Cherry Grove City I made at this point. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I've got that somewhere. I don't know if I do. I don't believe I do. Actually, speaking of that, let me see. I guess I can just put this whole thing on here because it kind of doesn't matter anymore. Let me go ahead and remove that real quick. I want to backtrack a little bit here because I didn't show this on the second way through. But let's go back to the remake of Comic 17. You remember how all this and everything is like a full map here? Yeah, I made a full map for that route. Well, not a full map, but a pretty sizable chunk. So here's the thing. I had Mr. Watch here, and I was very mad at all of the things he ever said to me. So I've got this thing. It's got a bunch of like full-on maps for things you might have seen in various things. There's Cherry Grove. This is a newer version though. So like, you know, oh, that's not what I want. Like this is just Cherry Grove. Yeah. This is one of many little sprite sheets that I had. We can kind of just, you know, glance at various things here, I guess, if we want. You know, there's various scenes you might have seen before. Actually, no, hold on. Right there in the middle. There it is. There's the original Cherry Grove City. It's right there. There it is. All right, we're going to be bringing that back every so often, I think. All right. We did it. I didn't make that much, turns out. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't planning to stick around in Cherry Grove City for too long anyways, so, you know. Back to space. All right, here we are, getting blown up. Get out of here. Everyone dies. It's fine. Next comic is something you might recall. I showed you this comic. You might recall that. However, there was an alternate version of this comic. Where the punchline is slightly different. Remember this comic? There's a reason I changed this, you might realize. This is a, you know. Yeah, so that was a thing that happened. Yeah, it's a nice callback to a thing I regret. It's the best. So, you know, that happened. And so we move on to a joke about talking to himself. That's the joke. Mario talks to himself. Finally. We've done it. Here's this comic again where it's just way too dark. Thankfully, through the power of editing, we can, you know, make it seeable, technically speaking. So yeah, you can see there's that Kamek sprite again. This comic has like an actual background and everything. You can't like really ever see it. It's kind of funny how I just overdid the effect. Like literally, I understand the trope about hanging out in a dark room, but why is it just practically pitch black? Like what the heck was the point? Like I don't understand, man. I don't understand. This is just set up for the next bit of shenanigans. Is really all that this is. I didn't mean to remove that. I accidentally removed the thing that I said I was going to come back to every so often, so oopsie doodle. OBS is ruining my bacon. It's fine. Okay. Alright. Let's talk about Wario and Luigi. These characters should not exist. 100%. They just should not. Remember how I'm like, oh my gosh, I should add Taz because I should probably have a girl. Well, how about I add Mario and Luigi as entire characters for the sake of, you know, this that comes later. Just, you know, that's the entire reason. The only point that these characters exist is to move the plot along for one thing, and for one thing only. That is the only reason they exist. Now, to be fair, I do try to correct this later, you know, because there's that whole thing where they find the coin, and I was gonna eventually do stuff with that, but, like, these guys don't need to exist. Like, they're only here so Team Rocket can mistake them for the Mario Brothers. That's the only reason that they're here. It's just, it's so dumb. It's so dumb! Why did I do that? By the way, Luigi's gimmick is that he never says more than, like, 3 words at a time, I guess. Yeah, no, the flaw I have with... I mean, actually, no, this sets up a ton. Because, first of all, this sets up the whole premise that everybody on the Pokemon world knows who Mario and Luigi are, but it's not the other way around. And, gosh, man, I wrote myself into a narrative corner with that whole nonsense, because that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would that happen? It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, why did I do that? I don't know. To be fair, half of the reason I did this is because of the original plot that I had in mind, and I'll get to that in a second, because there's shenanigans that were about to happen. Yes, anyway, there they are, the Mario Brothers. The characters I should not have made real. To be fair, I do like them in concept, because, like, at least I was gonna try to do something with them later, but it's just... their existence threw a monkey wrench in so much. It's like, oh gosh, man. See, because I'd always said, if I ever... There was a small part of me at one point that wanted to just restart the comic. But, like, I already got so far into it, and restarting it was practically guaranteed to make it so I would just not get as far and not finish. So, like, it just didn't seem like a good idea. But, like, I would have probably kept these characters, but I would have established them as not obsessed with Mario and Luigi until Mario and Luigi just showed up and did something that gave them a reason to be fans, you know? It's one of those things. Yeah, restarting is kind of a risk. It's one that I've basically never seen actually work out, which is kind of the reason I was against it. But, you know. I mean, coincidental lookalikes, maybe. But, I don't know. Because I probably would have introduced them as just, like, regular, like, normal human characters. Like, witness the Mario Bros. Do something great, like saving a town or some such, I don't know. And then they're like, wow, I want to be just like them! You know, something to that effect, I don't know. Anyway, moving on to some dumb shenanigans. Get into the sky, everybody! Everybody gets into the vacuum. I don't know. It's just a thing. They're getting abducted into a spaceship or some such. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I don't understand. I have no knowledge, and I'm scared. Off to Bowser. Speaking of mistakes, I absolutely hate that I revealed Bowser didn't kidnap Peach this early. Why did I do this? I could have toyed with this so much. I have no idea why I just decided to be like, man, I should just outright say it. Because it'd be, like, cool to say now. I was so impatient. I just couldn't wait to have that one little plot twist, man. I just couldn't wait. I couldn't. I think also, by the way, I think this is the comic where I got Photoshop. I just didn't change the text bubbles yet. Because I did some weird filter things on panel 1, so... But, you know. Yeah, I'll go more into the whole Bowser not kidnapping Peach thing later, because there's a lot of stuff I could do with that. Where Bowser is just kind of the scapegoat for a long time. Because, I mean, it's Bowser. Why wouldn't he kidnap Peach? Especially later, because I would have kept Kamek, like, transforming into Peach, which would have had more impact, I feel, if I didn't already spoil to the viewer that they didn't kidnap Peach in the first place. I mean, it's still not really all that subtle, because, you know, Paper Mario exists. This already happened before, which was kind of the joke in a way, but, you know. I like doing little background gags, by the way. Like, you'll notice here, there's like a turtle on his back, and he gets all determined and finally gets up. Meanwhile, the other one's just, you know, being bullied by a fly guy. Even though he's got red shoes, and that's a green shell, so that's just wrong, and it's just wrong. You can't wear red shoes and have a green shell. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Alright, well, here's this to explain what's going on. Bowser somehow knows about Pokemon. I don't know why. At the point in time where I made this comic, I'm fairly certain I didn't have an explanation for this. So, you know, it's fine. Bowser kills a Goomba, and that's the end of that comic. Let's recap! I have Photoshop full force now, so, you know, it took 2 months to make this comic, and we finally have bottom text back. Bottom text, as I've mentioned before, is just kind of like mouse over text, you know? I always thought that those kinds of things were fun, so I wanted it. You know, I wanted to try it out. It seemed like a fun time. Actually, I forgot. I made a joke last time I was going through this that Lario and Luigi were just kind of not present in the ship, and no, there's Luigi. There he is on the ground in panel 6. Finally, continuity. Oh my gosh, it's this comic. This comic. Ugh, man. I keep talking about all the mistakes I made. Here we go. Actually, first off, I'm gonna... Can we go back a sec? No, okay. Yeah, I changed the sprites, I think. I gave their hair a black border for some reason. To be fair, a big part of the reason I recall is I did it specifically for Sean because the original sprite I was given just recolored his hair but not the outline, so like it still had the like light bluish outline of Brendan's white hat. So like it was just, it looked kind of bad, so you know I wanted to touch things up a little bit. I don't know if it looks that good. Part of that I think is because they still have colored outlines everywhere else. So like their heads just stand out more than the rest of their body. It looks weird anyway. I want to talk about panel number 4, where Taz says, "Great, another thing keeping me from being a trainer. Just what I needed." This is implying something. But let me tell you, when I made this comic, I 100% had no idea what that was going to be. I literally just put this line of dialogue in there for no reason. I was probably gonna come up with something later. I don't know why I did it this way. Please, past me, come up with plans before you start just doing things. I'm begging you so much. Come on. I don't know what I was thinking. I had no plan. It's just a thing, you know? I mean, I had one plan, but like, it was stupid, and we'll get to that, I promise. I keep alluding to it, but it's fine. Ron just has the key, no explanation given. All right. Onward to comic 50, where we finally have a Pokemon battle. Well, I mean, it's gonna start at any rate. Yeah, I mentioned this before, but like, I went to like this weird little like battle dimension or whatever the heck, and I have no idea why I didn't do this more. Cause like, I kept trying to do battles that take place in just like an open area of sorts. And like, this would have solved so much if I had just kept doing this. I don't know why I only did it the once. I have no idea. It's just, I don't get it. Oh hey, yeah, Lario and Luigi are here too. I forgot they were here. They're easily to forget. All right, actually, I want to touch on this because I forgot to earlier. Taz, Sean and Ron are based on someone, so is Taz. Taz is based on a friend of mine, also from ACC, Animal Crossing Community. That I just kind of called it the acronym out of habit. She's also from that thing where we were doing the RPG thing, and her character, named Taz, also had a Growlithe. So, you know. Yeah. So, that's a thing. Just putting it out there. You know, you'll notice that there's a lot of these characters based on someone. I say that, and Taz is kind of the last one, actually. So, because Blake is a wholly original character. Like, he's not based on anything other than my own ideas, I guess. So, you know, that. So, let's see, battling time. I don't know, this is sort of primitive compared to some of my later stuff, and it's not even because of just the art style, but like, I don't have any, what's the word for like, text in the comic that like implies like sounds. I should know this, but my brain is farting up a storm right now, but I have none of that. And like, I usually had little bits of the Pokemon saying their name or whatever. So like, that's just not happening here. It's everything is just silent. Growlithe is barely purple. Just barely. I don't know. It's a thing. I mean, I know in the games, Onomatopoeia, that's it, right. Okay, good, we did it. I don't know why I forgot that, but point is, I think, was Diamond and Pearl out at this point? Did Diamond and Pearl do the thing where Pokemon turn purple when they're poisoned? Or am I thinking of, like, Gen 5? Was it Gen 5 that did that? Was I ahead of the curve? I think I was ahead of the curve. Awesome! I did it first! Yeah! I can't believe Pokemon copied me. Can't believe. Anyway, well, they lost. I don't know. Oh no! Grimmer won! Where did they go? I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back in 5 months to tell you where they went. You can kind of tell, because I keep having these bottom texts talking about, like, time frames happening. A lot of time is passing between each comic, so it's fine. Oh my gosh, they're hiding behind boxes and computers from Metroid. Unfortunate. Hey, I already got rid of the black outlines on their hair. Now it's just colored brown. Nice. Finally. I did the thing that I was mad at. I don't know if I did that in the last comic or not, but I did it here, so good job. I fixed that pretty quick. Technically speaking, it's fine, you know. I don't know, I don't have anything to say about that one. But the next one, I might have a little more to say. Maybe. Yeah, there's Redhead Guy. Remember Redhead Guy? There he is. There he is. He's gonna use Ice Beam. Ron doesn't get the joke. There's a joke here. I explained it last time we went over this comic, so there's no need to explain it again. I said I might have more things to say, but I actually don't. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Alright, let's see. Actually, I'm trying to remember, when did Chapter 3 start? Because Chapter 3 is kind of like a turning point of sorts. Let me look this up. Because I don't have them in like any specific order, unfortunately. Where's Chapter 3? Chapter 3 doesn't start until Delta shows up? Really? Huh. I didn't think it was that far away, but alright. Okay. Sure. If you say so. If you say so. Well, no, that's true, because there's a chapter break. I forgot to put the chapter break in, because I didn't think about it until later, actually. But, like, there was a chapter break at some point for Chapter 2, because Chapter 1 goes all the way until that one comic where everything is dark. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can talk about the chapter thing since I'm on that topic right now real quick, you know, just putting it out there. Chapter 1 starts comic 16. Technically should be comic 1, but, you know, I didn't remake those yet, so. Yeah, these are the only times where the author insert comes back. Obviously that blur at the top is just supposed to be, like, Bowser's ship or whatever the heck, in case it's not obvious. You know, just putting it out there. Taz really should be in there, but she doesn't really do anything until, like, later, so, you know. Taz is just kind of there for a while. It's real unfortunate that I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna insert a character here and do nothing with her for a while. It's fine. But yeah, this is in Chapter 2. This is just this whole duality of children and Mario imitations and Mario and Bee imitations. That's what that is. All right. Well, I mean, I didn't have a lot going on there, turns out, but you know, we can look. We can look at them. We can look at them. I don't have a plan for any of this. I'm just kind of winging it. It's fine. Back to Mario and Luigi. Hanging out, wandering around with a rock wall, and there's EGAD happening. Golden Square time. So, I kind of briefly mentioned that the Golden Square was sort of a mistake. I probably did it this way because it was, like, well, I mean, where else do you get power-ups? You hit a block, right? I mean, so let's just give them a block that they carry around and have random power-ups in it. So, you know. See, that's the thing. I did make too many characters, I feel. And the problem I had is that I liked all of the characters I had made eventually, so me getting rid of any of them would just be really difficult. Like, because I thought about, like, because when I thought about remaking the comic from scratch, I thought about cutting, like, 1 or 2 of the main cast. And I'm just like, but who would I cut? Like, I'm doing stuff with all these characters. Who would I cut? How does that work? How can you do that? And, like, I'm not even talking about side characters, because a lot of the side characters either are just kind of one-time dudes or characters that would just show up occasionally. But, like, you know. But, yeah, Golden Square. It's kind of there. You know, you just. It was a way for me to give Mario Bros. Power-ups when they're not home, you know? It's one of those things, so that's what I did. Speaking of, you might have noticed, all of the power-up sprites were custom, actually. I believe I have an image somewhere. Do I know where that is? I mean, the answer is yes, but it's a matter of finding it, because, I know I have one. Where is it? Like, come on, I know I have one of these. I know I do. Ah, wait, hold on. I definitely found it, but where is it actually? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I made sprites for all of the various Mario items that existed at the time, and a few I just kind of made up. Also the Smash Ball for some reason. I had no reason to make the Smash Ball. I was never gonna use it. But I did it. I did the thing. Yeah. I don't recognize what that, like, that blue one is next to the ice flower. What's that blue mushroom? I don't remember, if I'm honest. I don't know. I just don't know. Also, I don't know why there's, like, the freaking evil power-ups in the bottom left. I sincerely doubt I had a plan for those. So, you know, they're just kind of... I think I was just having fun. That's just a thing that I made, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Mini Mushroom was there. No, Mini Mushroom was there separately. The blue mushroom, I don't know what that was. Was there a blue mushroom that was in, like, something? I don't remember. To be fair, I just kind of made a bunch of power-ups in case I ever wanted to use them. I didn't really have a specific plan for any of them, necessarily. So, like, you know, that's just a thing that I did. Like, again, I think I was just having fun, so it's fine. Alright, let's see. Where was I? Luigi gets a turn, and here we go. Mushroom touch Kakuna, it grow. Yeah, I explained this later, but, like, Mushroom basically gives the Pokemon a few levels temporarily. If it would cause them to evolve, they get to evolve, so that's a thing. That's the thing with the Mario power-ups, is I had absolutely a plan for what each individual power-up would do if a Pokemon used it, like, mechanically. It's kind of weird that I did this, actually. I was sort of, like, treating this like it would be a game, and how, like, all of the various game mechanics would work, and, like, I don't know why I was treating it like that, because I could easily just change things on a whim. It's just a thing. Alright, well, they're gonna fight now. The end. Fighting time is here. Mamma mia, that bee is getting shot by Fireball. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. It's probably super effective or whatever. What were the plans? Don't worry, we'll get to that. Alright, cape time. Luigi gets a cape. Alright, action sequences that I don't have much to say about. It's the best. Alright. Let's see. We're going over here. Luigi gets freaking owned. And then Blake shows up. Blake is a fun character I just decided to make up out of nowhere, because I'm like, man, I think it'd be cool if there was a blind Pokemon trainer and see what they could do with that concept, you know? It's fun. It's a neat little thing, I think. Also, Sam gave me that, hey look, it's the cute thing that does cute things in the background angle to work with. Everybody loves Sam. I don't know if I've addressed this too much, but the, it's blank effective thing is just kind of like a running gag of sorts. At least I felt it was. I don't know if anybody actually cared about it, but, you know, just... I kept replacing that middle word with something anytime, like, some sort of powerful move happened. You know what I mean? I thought it was funny. Yeah. Anyway. Blake is learning about the Mario Bros. And so we find out he's actually blind. Several people actually guessed this. I was just like, maybe they'll think he's wearing sunglasses because he's cool. Here's the problem. Blake is the most cuttable, arguably. But there are things I was gonna do with him eventually, so like... Well, plus he also serves the purpose of, like, being a sort of mentor to the Mario Bros. So, like... I don't know. I didn't want to have, like, the other characters do it, because I didn't want them to do, like, 10 billion different things, you know? And just... I don't know, I guess I could have. Like, I could have probably had Sean do it or something. Like, Sean's probably the most likely person I would have gone with. Mostly because Taz has a whole lot of issues of her own to deal with, and Ron is stupid, so, like, you know. That's where I'm at. But no, I mean, I liked Blake. You know, so I didn't want to just remove him, you know. It's just a thing I had to deal with. It's fine. Yeah, character development would have happened. Blake is the one that really just didn't get much in the way of character development. He had like this whole thing at the end where he's like, oh no, I'm scared when I like don't have my seeing eye creature with me, so you know, it's a thing. This is where I'm attempting to explain how magnets work. And that's the joke, I guess. I don't know. And then Kakuna's back. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no. There was some mechanic I had in mind where, like, if a Pokemon sustained a heavy hit, they would lose their power-up state. So, like, it would effectively lose those extra bonus levels and revert back to whatever form it was previously. Basically how that would work mechanically, I guess. I don't know. It's a thing. Anyway, we're in space. That's a joke. It's not really a joke, per se, but I don't know why I had him take the Totodile when it should be implied that it's the Bayleaf. But... oh, no, you know what? There actually is a reason. No, there is a reason. Oh, I'm hyping this up, and I'm not gonna get to it because I gotta go to work soon. Dang it. I have picked a bad time for all of this. No. Fart. Well, you know what? It's fine. We're in space, by the way. Definitely a thing we wanted to do. So, here's the thing. Planet Pokai. I wanted to name the planets, so I did. Reversing direction. It did say that, didn't it? Yeah, alright. Is this the one where it says... oh, it does say Amanita. Alright, so I named the planets, both of them, here. Nice. Alright, good. I needed to name the planets because, you know, it being a crossover, I didn't want them to just not have names. I wanted to be able to refer to them if need be, you know? And so that's just kind of what this is. That depends on how far into space the ship got, frankly. I don't know, because you didn't really go very far into space in ORAS. It was kind of like just out of orbit is really all you did. Feels like... yeah, Ron is afraid of outer space travel, I guess. I don't know. It's fine. Alright, well, I'm gonna use this as a time to explain the original plot of Pokemon Shroom version, because you might notice we're heading back. Originally, we were not heading back. So my original plan was more or less just a very simple, like... the Mario Bros go to the Pokemon world. Some Pokemon trainers go to the Mario world. That's the plot. I don't know. I really didn't have a whole lot of plans with that, actually. Because, you know, I'm very good at planning, as you've plainly seen throughout this. The Kamek-looking guy with Team Rocket was going to be the main villain. I do not remember what his name was going to be because it is not what I eventually decided his name would be. I also frankly don't remember most of the ideas I had for that plot. It's like somehow they would like merge back together the groups. See, that's the thing. This is half of the reason why Blake exists, because Blake would have been the mentor to the Mario Brothers while they're still on the planet, just stuck there. Like, he wouldn't have been part of the main group to begin with, essentially. So, like, this is kind of a good reason for Blake to exist. It's just his purpose changed, you know? He's still kind of the mentor character, but, like, I don't know. It's just a thing, I guess. I don't know. I also will say, this guy was gonna go with them to the Pokemon planet, for the record. I based him on Silver from the, you know, the Gen 2 plot. You know, the rival guy. He doesn't look very good. Like, he doesn't look like him at all, essentially. Heart Gold and Soul Silver were not out yet, for the record, so, like, I didn't have updated sprites or anything to base it off of, so I just kind of tried my best. But yeah, no, he's very blatantly based on that. Frankly, I feel like Taz was sort of based off of the Crystal female protagonist. As far as appearance goes, I mean, that doesn't really work because she had very different hair. So, like, I don't know what's going on with that, but, you know. So, yeah, I want to point out, in panel 1 here, Red Guy takes the middle Pokeball. Is that the one with Totodile in it? I think that's the one with Totodile in it. Because this would be why he has the Totodile. He takes the middle Pokeball. Cyndaquil would be on the left, so somehow there's a Ghastly. I made a careless mistake. I left something behind. Anyway, what could I be implying, I wonder? I don't know. It's just whatever. Yeah, Silver just kind of... Well, sorry, his name's technically not Silver in the comic, but whatever, we'll get to that. He does not like Team Rocket at all. So, at least I was consistent with that, I guess. Good. Great. Wonderful. All right. And so they get off the ship. I do a callback to the whole Pokedex as a phone thing. You know, it seemed like the thing to do at the time. Yeah, we should probably head to the Pokemon Center, you know, we've just been in space. It's fine. Oh my gosh, Ron does a thing. Hooray! Finally, I realized Ron hasn't done a whole lot. He can do a thing now. Yay! We did it! I want to point out, he's very shocked by the Ghastly. You know, just putting that out there. I keep accidentally opening the file and not putting it in OBS. It's fine. Later that night, if you didn't get the joke, the guy says you should be keeping an eye on the new jailbird. Do you get it? Do you get the joke? Spoiler alert, this is actually a callback to another one of those stick figure comics I made a billion years ago. Where Where, like, one character's like, hey, keep an eye on this person, and the other one's like, alright, and he places a letter I on top of their head. That's the joke. It's funny! Definitely funny. Alright, I want to put this out there because this never actually gets established, but I want to say right now, this guy's name, I was going to call him Mark. Because he says his name is a bunch of question marks, so, you know, I figured I'd call him Mark. We never got to know his name because his character never got to come back, but he definitely would have come back. I had plans for him, don't worry. I even know how he escaped. It's great. And anyway, that's the end of Chapter 2. Next video, we go into Chapter 3 and beyond, and honestly, this is probably where I have most of the things to say, because, obviously by this point, I've thrown away my original plot plan, because I completely backpedaled on it. Like, I was going with that plot all the way up until, like, probably somewhere around the time where I introduced Blake, honestly. Because, like, there's the whole thing with the Mario Bros. Fighting the bee drill that happened and all that, but, like, for the most part, I was sticking with that plan until I just decided, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna anymore. And honestly, it could have even happened, like, almost immediately after they got sucked up into the spaceship. I don't know. I don't remember the exact time frame, because I don't remember how much of a gap there is between each of these comics, so it's a thing. But I was starting to get more of a plan. I was starting to. Definitely. But, more on that next time. So I'll see you later and goodbye, I guess. I don't know. I got more things to say eventually. It'll be fun.